Okay, this is the bottom half, I believe, of page 399. And I'm just going to do one example here, and you can fill it in if you haven't already done so in Google Classroom in your digital workbook. But it says find the amount of orange juice in each drink for 1 cup of cherry juice. Okay, so it's very important. A couple of kids that I've been helping with Think Central assignments, you skip over this stuff up here and you go right to the problem. And then the question is, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. Okay, they're telling you right here, find the amount of orange juice in each drink for 1 cup of cherry juice. A couple of things have been done for us in Sue's recipe, and notice they've been left out in Ben's recipe. So I'm going to follow that lead, and I'm going to label this column orange juice compared to parts cherry juice. It's very important. This is very important, labeling your columns in the same ratio order if you're comparing things. Okay, so Sue's recipe was 4 to 5 in her original recipe. She doesn't need that much juice. So she only has 1 cup of cherry juice. And then I cannot remember what Ben's recipe was. Oh, Ben's was 5 cups orange juice. 5 cups orange juice to 6 cups cherry juice, and we want to scale that down to just 1 cup. Okay, this is 5 divided by 5 to get me 1, so then I'm going to take 4 and divide it by 5, and I'm just going to leave it like that, a fraction. I'm not going to carry it out. I don't like working with decimals. I like fractions. They're just neater and cleaner. And I'm not a fan of long division. Here, 6 divided by 6 equals 1. So per unit of cherry juice, I would do 5 divided by 6 here, and this would only take 5/6 of a cup of orange juice. Okay, so now they're both, they have equal amounts cherry juice, and the other part, orange juice, has been scaled down to keep the flavoring of both of their recipes the same. Sue would then have 4/5 cup of orange juice for every 1 cup of cherry juice. The unit rate, unit means per 1, is 4 for the ratio, what do they want? Oh, the unit rate for the ratio of orange juice to cherry juice is 4/5 to 1. Okay, Ben has 5/6 cup of orange juice for every 1 cup of cherry juice. The unit rate ratio for the ratio of OJ to cherry is 5/6 to 5/6 of a cup to every 1 cup. Okay, moving through the rest of this unit, use unit rate language to describe ratios. Complete each sentence using a fraction. Pedro uses a ratio of 7 quarts blue to 4 quarts of white paint, so that makes a really light blue. Ratio 2. Ratio 2. So the words, we've just eliminated the words and we've kept the numbers and their values in the same order. So a little bit of shorthand maybe. So Pedro uses 7 quarts of blue paint for every quart of, for every 4 quarts. I skipped ahead here. Complete each using a fraction. So we want to divide in this order. I forgot this. I just got done explaining you need to read everything. So the unit rate would be in order, blue paint for every white paint. That means we're going to take the blue first, because that's first in our sentence, and divide it by the second one, white. And they said, you know what? We can leave it as a fraction. So 7 divided by 4. Let's use the fraction division sign versus the traditional corner for the division sign. So the unit rate for the ratio 7 to 4 is 7/4 to 1. Okay, so if you're still having trouble, 7 to 4, and then we scaled this side down to 1, so we divided by 4, and then 7 divided by 4, and they said we could leave it as a fraction, so I'm going to make it look like a fraction, 7 divided by 4. Grandpa uses 3 cups of soup, or 3 cups of tomatoes to every 8 cups of broth. The ratio of tomatoes to broth is 3 to 8. He uses which fraction of tomatoes for every 1 cup of broth? So here it is, 3 cups tomatoes to 8 cups broth, tomatoes to broth, and I only have 1 cup of broth, so that 1 is going to go down here. I can use my division skills, 8 divided by 8, and then I can reduce this side by the same thing, 3 divided by 8, and they said I could leave it as a fraction, 3 divided by 8. So he would use only 3/8 of 1 cup of tomatoes for every 1 full cup of broth. So sometimes in your ratios, you can have fractions as part of your ratio, and that's totally fine. The unit rate ratio for this ratio is then 3/8 to 1. Okay, the unit rate ratio for any ratio, we write our ratios A, B for anything. Cherry juice, orange juice, blue paint, yellow paint, tomatoes, broth. We always write it A to B. B can never be 0. So the unit rate ratio would be A divided by B to 1 whole ratio. Okay. Looking back at the unit rates, you know what? I give you permission to skip this question, so you can leave it unanswered in your workbook. You can also, but if you want to answer it, if I assign it in a Think Central lesson, you would have to use your comparing fraction skills to answer those questions. That's my hint or clue to you. You can use the unit rate strategy to find the unknown in a proportion problem. Okay, so it's kind of an extra step. So here's an example. Maria's favorite juice recipe uses 4 cups of mango juice, 3 cups strawberry juice. That is not a unit rate, it's just a basic ratio because neither of these, this one especially, is not one. How many cups of strawberry juice could she mix with 5 cups of mango juice to make her favorite juice? I'm going to tell you guys this right now. There's a quicker and easy way that we're going to learn about on Wednesday, but the strategy they're talking about is here. Notice they labeled their columns 3 to 4, and then they put the mango juice, because why was mango set as 1 and not strawberry? Because they give you how many mango juice you have, so that's the column we're going to go down. So we're going to divide by 4 to make this 1. And then we're going to divide by 4, and so we have the fraction 3/4. But we don't have 1 cup, we actually have 5 times 1 cup. So then our next row is 5 times 1 cup. 5 times 3/4 is 15/4, and you can leave your answer just like that. Okay, so let's see here for the sake of time. You can complete question 9 in your workbook page. And you can complete question 10 in your workbook. And I give you permission, if you think in your head you have a better way of solving these ratio problems without going to the unit rate first, feel free to give it a try. I can tell you it might have something to do with factor puzzles and setting them up correctly. I can also give you another hint that maybe reducing fractions is also a skill you're good at. So those strategies, feel free to use those if you don't like doing that extra step of dividing to a price or amount per 1 and then multiplying for a second step towards a solution. Okay, there's nothing on this one. I don't know why this is on here, but this is just different methods of the unit rate strategy. This one is factoring down to a unit rate and then multiplying by the given value that you're looking for to find the amounts in the other part. This one's a factor puzzle, but notice one of the factors is a fraction. If you like working with fractions, fractions are our friends. Feel free to use a factor puzzle, but don't be alarmed if you have a fraction as one of your factors. And then here's Joey. He doesn't even go through one. He goes, I don't even write the unit rate. He just figured out that, you know, you can so I do the same. 4 divided by 1. He didn't even write it in, and then multiplied by 11. He knew that this answer was going to be 11. 7 divided by 1 is 7 divided by 4 is 7/4 times 11 is 77/4. He just didn't take the time to write it in. There's nothing you need to do for this part of your workbook assignment. I was just pointing that out. Okay, if you are in second hour class and you're watching this recording, you are done with this recorded message. Your homework then is to go on to Think Central and complete, if you've already completed your workbook, your digital workbook notes, but complete Unit 7, Lesson 1, and Unit 7, Lesson 2. Okay, for those of you in-person students, you're going to take, okay, for those of you in-person students, I'm going to give you a little practice break from your screen here, and hopefully the teacher hands out this coloring activity. The directions say solve each proportion, round all answers to the nearest tenth, match the question with the number with the answers below, color the pumpkin accordingly. This is what I'm going to let you do. Because of this, I don't want anybody to be, I want you to get coloring, so I'm going to let you to use calculators. Okay, and this is how you solve these. Multiply across, divide by the other number. So what you would enter for a solution for x is on your calculator, you would go 11 times 13 and then divide by 7. And you should not carry out your decimal past the tenths place value. Let's see if I can get my calculator in recording here. And then there's a code at the bottom. I don't have a calculator that's really handy and I'm running out of time. Okay, then there's word problems. Max worked 13 hours last week. At the grocery store he earned $94. There's your ratio. 13 and he made $94.25. Okay, hours worked to total paid. Okay, total money. If he only worked 5 hours, how much money could he expect? So you can set up your little ratios, which are, we're going to learn really soon here that these are called proportions. And then grabbing your calculator, you would do 5 times $94.25. I'll make that look like a times. And then divide it by the number that doesn't have a diagonal partner. And it's a money problem, so you might have some dollars and some cents here. Okay, I'm running out of time, so those are just 2 examples, and you can get to work and you can use calculators and use the rest of the class time to finish this lesson. You do not have a Think Central homework assigned to you. In-person students do not have Think Central homework on Tuesday night.